fuck up out of here. I seen this poll. I seen this post about in Indonesia, they had a ban on sex before marriage in their country, and I was thinking like, is that something you think like the U.S. should implement?
Absolutely not.
And I think they had a ban on couples like living together before they're married.
Yeah, ban that.
I think people. I think people they're gonna break the rules. I think for that to work, we already have to have the standard of believing that would work. So there has to be some set of religion or principles that make us follow those rules.
Some
if it's just implemented,
that's easy to implement though.
No.
Because if you're
That
a
takes a
woman and you're
certain
pregnant,
amount
you go
of-
to the doctor, they're gonna ask if you're married, and obviously there might be a fine associated with that.
yes,
or
but people are
whatever
gonna
the case
break
is.
the rules, so
That's-
it's gonna cause chaos. You have to have a certain amount of doctrination for that to actually work without it getting out of control.
It would have to take force in order to implement that, because I feel like us as a society, we are so
would be way
pro-choice.
too chaotic.
You're giving children, like, this is just to speak on like this is a broader conversation, but you're nowadays, and this is really the only country where we're allowing that. You're giving children the choice and the option to take hormones at an early age in order to like transition and stuff like that. You feel me? And I'm not saying that's an issue. You know, if you feel like that's okay, then
It's
okay.
mainly women that supporting that, but go ahead, continue.
You know, I don't want to, but my thing is, is like, we are so pro-choice as it is in a society. In order for that to be implemented, there would have to be a level of force, period. You see what happened. You saw what happened when they tried to take abortion rights away from women. You feel me? Like, the rioting went out of control, and that consisted of both genders. Straight men, it consisted of everybody. It's like, who are you to say what to do with your body?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think you're not gonna like me for this, but I'm not saying they should implement it, but I think other countries are looking at the United States
as an example,
100%, and saying, you know what, we do not want our society to be like how they are. So we are going to be more strict with, how you procreate, and we want to value family, because ultimately the nuclear family, a productive nuclear family, is what builds society. And unfortunately, in the States and in the West, we have gone away from that.
And that's usually set by discipline, which is something that we fail to have, I feel like, as a society in a whole.
But isn't China like the most populated place on earth or something like that?
Yeah, and what they have a strict ban on.
You only have one kid. You only have one kid.
But this isn't their first implementation of rules. I remember there was like, you can only have a certain amount of kids and stuff like that. One kid. So I think they just going through the motions of trying to find a way to reduce the population.
In China, they're very strict.
They
like,
have
you can steal a fortune cookie and get life in jail. Like,
they don't play,
bro. Like,
so when you train people like that, they already have a certain notion of follow certain rules. And for us, it's the total opposite. We're like pro this, pro that, where they already have that type of instillment in them to not do certain things. So when you implement something like that in a country like China, it probably would work. But here, where the needle's like this, for you to turn it like all the way around, it would cause chaos.
We already in this woke movement. Like, it's gonna be hard to just.
I think they just in a reduction of population kind of thing, man.
China?
Yeah.
I think one of the best things for China is their population. I mean, that's what's really helping them dominate, the world right now. Like, they're dumping their excess population off in Africa and the Caribbeans and in the States.
But they might be running out of resources over there. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, it's not the first time that they tried to put a ban on population.
China is going through a lot right now. I'm not sure if it's. I think it's China where they're dealing. I don't know if you guys know this, but it's over 70% of the population is their assets, their money is into the housing market. A lot of them own property, or they lobby their money together in order to own houses. Like, that's considered the best thing to do when it comes to investing your money. So they're having a lot of issues when it comes to the housing market, on top of population control. And I feel like what you said, I didn't think of it as that, but when you did say it, I understood it as that. I do think that could be a way of them trying to control the population. Like, no, you guys are not going to procreate. There's not going to be a risk of y'all procreating. Wait, didn't you say Indonesia?
That's Indonesia, yeah.
So that doesn't apply to China.
Yeah. I mean, it's Asia, but like, you know what I mean. Like,
I don't know that.
But like I said, it's hard to just implement. Like you said, the needle is so far this way, you can't go this way. But I can understand where they would maybe have that mindset, because you look at the United States, like, we lead the league in single parent households worldwide. Like, worldwide is at what, a 7% rate on average. In the United States, it's 23%. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's outrageous. Like, you know what I mean? So I think more people in the Eastern society, they obviously value family more, and they do not want this hookup culture and this baby mama culture and this fatherless child culture
or not even sorry to cut you off, but like children before marriage.
Yeah, that's another thing.
That's also
like
considered like a sin.
Yeah, I always talk about that on our show.
But do they want that?
Marry before you carry?
Do they want that everywhere?
Huh?
I don't think they want that everywhere. I don't think they want it in our community. To be honest,
I think it'll be more successful for families. To build families, I think a woman.
But that's why I'm saying I don't think it will ever get implemented here because they don't want that for us.
No, I feel like we just aren't used to it.
What do you mean?
And I don't think they want us to be fucking having a whole bunch of black people around.
What I mean by that is I don't think generationally we are used to seeing our parents having children only after they get married. So it's like we see that as normal. Whereas in other societies, like I have friends who are Muslim and they can never in a million years think about even considering carrying a child or putting themselves in a situation of having a child out of marriage. They're like terrified. Like,
but I wish our women thought like that.
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you.
I'm not trying to shame or hurt anyone's feelings, but once you like on second, third baby parent, mother or father, I think it's just another whole toxic situation that you're about to be in for both sides.
That's what I was saying. They're being rewarded for that. The government is rewarding them for that.
Sure.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't think that's what they want for us per se. That's why they want to implement that.
Well, but do you think it's really rewarding, or is it the fact that it's kind of like you have to be like
it's both.
It's both. It's both.
It's like, all right, you
rewarding as far as what, men and women.
Huh? Rewarding the government
supporting them, but it's like if they weren't, they would be seen as in the wrong. So it's kind of like a 50. You know, I see where you're coming from, but I feel like that's
other
a touchy
countries
subject.
don't reward. They don't give child support, and women second guess that. Oh, I'm not gonna have the baby because I don't even have the government back. So that's much more of a conscious decision now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
There's also other countries where women can't drive. They can't read.
No, that's true. You know what I'm saying?
So it's like I feel like when you give people the choice to do certain things, there's just gonna be a divide. You feel me? Like I'm on your side when I say I don't personally myself, I don't want to have kids with someone that I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where I'm gonna have a kid with someone and we're not together.
I respect
you feel
that
me? Like I don't that's just me. I do respect others who don't mind it. You know, I know women.
I bet you that should have changed if they had mandatory
rules.
Mandatory DNA test on birth.
I'm not gonna hold you.
Women will be very selective on who the fuck they fucking and know who their child father is. That should have changed it because they couldn't rely on child support.
I'm 50-50 on that because 50-50? You don't know how many times. No. I don't. I'm 50-50 on that because I feel like a lot of women. I'm actually kind of on your side about this, but I feel like a lot of women would take that as like, what the fuck? But at the end of the day, you feel me? But
it's mandatory.
They shouldn't even make it.
I feel like you'll still see an uproar. Yeah. I feel like because it hasn't been implemented. If it was implemented from earlier, it probably wouldn't really be like as But due to the way that society is, I feel like people are just gonna find an issue to make out of everything. But I completely agree with you. Where I feel like I don't know how many times I've seen in the media where it's like. Or not even in the media. I like to watch like court cases and stuff.
Yeah. Even some women could put a man name
20 years and not even know. It's
and
so it's like I don't know.
It's not fair.
I don't know.
Some women could put a man name on a birth certificate. He don't have to be there.
Yeah.
And
now you gotta pay.
If he doesn't make that court date, he is responsible. He's legally that child's father.
You're right.
And I don't think that's fair.
Right.
In society as whatever.
I think we should fight more for like not the ban it, but the mandatory DNA test.
That's simple. We
gotta have that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think that's what you were saying though. That certain things are done for a reason. And it's not done.
Yeah. I always saying like
it would be extremely easy to do so too. Like it wouldn't have to be.
A lot of things aren't done for our benefit. So. I mean, that's the
and it
problem.
would solely really be for our benefit. So it's like, are they probably going to implement it? Probably not. Well, not obviously our benefit, but probably not. But in reality, should it be done? Yeah, I agree with y'all on that. If you want to have the choice to whether or not you want to figure out, from the beginning.
In Dubai, they have that.
Mandatory?
No. They have where you can't live together unless you're married, and I know that
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah,
they're super strict over there.
But if you have money,
the money, it doesn't matter.
They'll break those rules, like, you know what I'm saying. But for everybody else, you know what I mean. Like, that's illegal.
You said Cristiano Ronaldo, he was able to do what?
Who? What the fuck you say?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, okay. No, he plays for the team in Dubai now, the soccer team. Okay. You know, he has a girlfriend. Yeah. And they rented out the hotel or whatever the case is. But in that country, if you're not married, you can't, live together. And because obviously he plays for their team, they obviously broke the rules for him because it's the motherfucking most, popular person on the planet. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, obviously when you got money, rules always break for people who have money, clearly. Anyway, man, we definitely appreciate. I mean, I know it got a little heated on this motherfucker. I feel like I need y'all like to hug or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there we go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we talk. Daily Wrap-Up Crew, where we argue and make up.
Argue and make up at the same show.
I ain't gonna hold you. You just pat me on my back like a nigga, though. That's that masculine energy. That's the masculine.
What are you talking about? What does do? Rub you?
Nah, just look. I gave you a hug. I ain't pat your back.
No,
I ain't pat your head.
It's like a solidifying.
You feel like tune into the next episode.
No, I'm not. No, pat.
We good.